I continue, maybe I give chance our friend Camerun. Camerun, come here. This group, not everybody knows you. So tell us your story. Don't forget about Harry Potter. I like the story, right? Okay, go ahead.
So I came to New York and
In more details. Yes.
oh okay.
You have time.
Okay, so basically I moved from Chicago to New York because of my mom's job, and I came here, and my school wasn't the best school because I moved in the middle of the school year, so it's just like random school, and as a result, my work ethic went down, and like I didn't really have to try or anything, and then when I transferred to a different school next year, I kind of felt the effects of that, and so I wasn't the best student. Then
Very polite way of saying, not the best, right?
yeah.
This is nice.
And so, and my sister started doing Dr. Farber'S, and so it like helped her. So then I started doing it as well. And like they were in the beginning of Dr. Farber'S, I was also not the best student. I got a lot of low grades.
Like two brothers, right? You say
But like I kept doing it, and like I put a lot of time and like effort into the Farber work, and it helped. I started seeing like improvements in the Farber'S, and not only in Farber'S but like in normal school. And when I took the SHSAT, I got into the school that I wanted, which was Brooklyn Tech. But I also applied to some boarding schools too, which are like it's kind of like Harry Potter, like Dr. Farber was saying earlier. And so through like preparing with Dr. Farber, the test was like kind of similar, and I was able to do well on that, and I got into the #3 school in the country with a 4-year scholarship of $65,000 each year.
Did you go?
Yeah. And I just got back home for the summer from a study year abroad in China, and so I'm back here doing Farber'S again to improve.
How many languages do you know?
2. And I can like do some Spanish.
what about Chinese too?
Yeah, Chinese is the second language.
Okay. Remember I showed this one? This is, you brought to us, right?
Yeah, I
Remember
did.
this? Like a present?
Yeah.
It's St. Paul School, third boarding school, United States. Did they give a scholarship to go to China?
Yeah.
Okay, what scholarship?
Oh yeah, I also got a scholarship for that program too. But that program, I also got a full tuition scholarship, which was $55,000, $55,000. I don't remember. But yeah, so then I was able to do that program on the full scholarship as well, and I'm just back from that.
Okay, do you have questions here?
Yeah, what do you want to be when you grow up?
You already grew up.
Can you speak out louder? I didn't hear.
What do you want your career to be?
Right now that's a difficult question because I'm also like trying to figure out like what I want to like major in college. So like I'm just trying to take it one step at a time right now. But in terms of college majors, I was thinking, right, I'm trying to decide it this summer, but I was thinking like a double major between finance or like or being an economist, or and also Chinese studies, and I also have the cybersecurity path as like an extra choice if I want to pursue that.
Cybersecurity is very interesting. Because many people know China, you know how many? More than billion.
Yeah.
And cybersecurity, not everybody knows. Okay, about
Wait,
this.
what's cybersecurity?
It's like what protects your phone from being hacked or something.
It's what?
It's a system.
You know, but
Well, I know
system,
it's a
right?
system.
Cameron, answer the question.
Yeah,
You
that's
answer
awesome.
this question.
Basically,
Virus scan.
it's like online security to like, huh?
What? Oh, really?
What tells you when you someone steals
Like
your
that.
Like
information?
no trust.
Yeah, basically like online security to keep all your information safe
more questions? I believe you are, yes?
What is like in St. Paul?
Let me do brother Said in it.
So, pardon?
None.
In terms of what aspects, like,
Let's go.
Is the work easy to get?
Is it like, is it overrated or not?
That's all I hear is that.
I wouldn't say so. I'd say it's pretty like challenging, but it's also opening me up to a lot of opportunities. For example, the school year abroad that was just on, like, I wouldn't have known about if I didn't go to St. Paul's. I learned about it through my school and like different things like that, and I've been able to like participate and do things that like I never even like thought of before, and like I'm really grateful for all the opportunities that it opened up for me.
Is St. Paul's a high school?
Yeah,
Wait, is he wasn't technology?
I didn't go back.
He didn't go to tech.
How can you go to Brooklyn Tech in Brooklyn when you live in Massachusetts somehow? Connection. Yeah, you can do in the morning to Brooklyn Tech. And you-
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Would you tell us a little bit about boarding school? Maybe some of them would be motivated to ask a question. Tell what is boarding school, how you feel about what you're doing.
How are the dorms?
Well, they differ per school, but I'd say at St. Paul's they're pretty good. And so dorm life, it's really interesting. That's one of my like highlights because like you're surrounded because the community it like really enforces the idea and benefits of a small community that's always there because like sure like you'll have friends that you like you're in classes with every day, but like the friends that you're in classes with every day you now like live with them, so you're with them all the time, and it really enables you guys to become like really close. And so and also with like teachers, because there are teachers that also live in the dorm on like different floors, and so like for example if you have a problem with a subject you can like go to that teacher at like 9 o'clock at night to their apartment like on one of the floors of the dorm, and like
They'll actually let you do that?
yeah, that's like it, yeah. And so it's a lot, it's like a really supportive community that like don't understand.
Where's the school located at?
Concord, New Hampshire. Concord, New Hampshire. Well, I still live in Brooklyn.
Where do you go for college?
I'm not sure. I'm starting the application process.
Wait, I thought you were in college.
Exactly.
No.
What
Is
grade?
there a scholarship in high school?
What grade?
Yeah.
Because it's a private school, it's a
Yeah.
boarding
Oh,
school.
yeah, but like, I actually tried to.
Cameron, what grade you in right now?
I'm gonna be a senior in high school next year.
So he's in 11th now, he's gonna be in 12th.
High school.
765.
What about sport in this boarding school? We have sport, we have
Yeah.
sports.
Okay, yeah, sports, it's,
We have a lot of opportunities there.
there's like a lot of opportunities, and I'm fortunate because like St. Paul's has lots of sports to offer, and I do in the fall I do football, and then winter I wrestle, and in the spring I play lacrosse, and then they also have like basically like any other sport that you want, like
So like
squash, crew, like
Squash.
Squash.
um, it's I don't play squash, but
Take
like
best student is squash.
kind of like a variant is like indoor tennis / wall ball.
Well, what's wall ball? Is it like
It's like
handball?
where you slap the ball against the wall and then it
Yeah.
comes back and you slap it
It's
again.
literally-
That's handball.
It's handball.
That's handball.
But
It's the same
no,
thing as handball.
it's like a tennis
you
racket.
know it's more about sports than
That's handball.
It's not handball.
Handball is
it's
like
tennis.
Handball
like
you use
wall
a
ball.
hand.
Handball.
Yeah, it's like
Wall ball, you use a tennis
Yeah.
racket.
and then
Oh.
yeah, and so also like I've had the opportunity to like, try other sports like there, and the like facilities there are also like really they really enable you to like go far and be like good at like what sport you're at. So I didn't wrestle for St. Paul's last year, but like I went to states the previous 2 years beforehand in wrestling, and then we also went to the state bowl game for football last year. now lacrosse team kind of sucks.
What did you study in China?
In China, I just did normal school with an emphasis on like studies on Chinese culture and language. So, for example, on the language aspect, we had 12 Chinese classes a week.
Did you go
And
to school like 7 days or 5?
5, but
Oh,
at St. Paul's you go to school 6 days a week.
Oh.
it was boarding school.
So we had like one normal Chinese class and then another normal Chinese class on top of that. So that was about 2 hours, and then we had Chinese tutoring 3 times a week as well. It was like a small group, like 1 or 2 other people, and then we also lived with host families, so we could like we only spoke Chinese really.
Can you speak Chinese?
Can you say something?
Yeah.
No, Schwarzschild, no.
What?
Say
Hey,
that
it's
again.
here.
I just said, what do you want me to say?
Say
Tell them
something.
if next time they will not prepare homework, we send them also to China.
Play squash.
Wait, you said that you go to school 6 days a week. What do you do on the 7th day?
It's a weekend.
What do you do?
Hey,
Like,
come on.
Homework, see, oh, beautiful answer, see,
He
homework.
plays his sports.
How long have you been in China for?
I went for the year last year, so I left last August, and I'm coming back now.
One quick question. Is everything in China made in China?
Oh my
'Cause-
god.
That's such a stereotype.
How did you apply for
See, that's a good
How did you
question.
apply for
It was like, there are a bunch of programs like this where you can go and study abroad, and this is one program that like lots of kids from my school like often did to go to like France and like Spain and Italy, and so I did the application process through my
My sister
school.
lives in Italy. I can
How
go
was
visit.
like your schedule
In where?
in school? Was it like periods
In China or at St. Paul's?
in St. Paul's?
Oh, my schedule, wake up about, well, it depends. Okay, normal, like, my normal schedule, wake up around like 6, maybe go to the gym, then,
6 a.m., right?
Yeah.
Instead of 6 p.m.
No, 6 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's 6 miles per hour. 6 miles per hour.
maybe go to the gym for a little, then go to breakfast, come back, have chapel at 8, and then after,
Chapel?
yeah, it's Episcopalian school. Religious school.
Oh.
Then after chapel, start class at 8:30, go through classes, go to the dining hall for lunch, come back, more classes, then have practice at 4, and then get out practice at 6, go to dinner at like 6:30, do homework, get back in the dorm at 9:30, do homework, go to bed.
I have 2 questions. Like, you took the tax test again? Or what?
Plus
It was like a test similar to the SHSAT called the SSAT. It was similar, which is why like I was able to use a lot of like what I learned in Farber to like do well on it.
Do you wish you had more homework or less homework? Or just it's good enough?
At St. Paul's, I feel like it's good. It's like challenging. There definitely been a decent amount of all-nighters, but
How
like
much homework do you get per day?
at least a couple, like at least it varies. I don't know, maybe like 5 hours one night. Like, it depends on what I have.
So like when you were in China, did they let you like go out and like do things on your own, or did you have to stay in like the school the whole time?
No, we lived with host families, so we didn't have to live. So we didn't live with the school. So like a lot of the time, actually, I'm grateful for that. It wasn't really like, it was more place-based experiential learning. So they encouraged us to like go out, go to like Tiananmen Square, like see the Great Wall, like stuff like that, and like go out, explore on our own, and like hang out with our host families as well.
So your whole family like fed you and like all that
Yeah,
stuff.
and then we lived with them.
Do you still think you had like chance to go like other
abroad program. Yeah.
Why'd you pick China?
Yeah.
I was taking Chinese, and it's based off what language you take.
Oh, so if
So
you take
if
like
you
French, you can go
go to,
French.
like,
Yeah.
What are the language choices?
Brazil?
To go abroad. Also, you don't have, it's not just this one SY program. Like you can do like any abroad programs and go like any countries really, but like the popular ones. There's one girl from our school that's in Austria right now doing German, and then there's some people they go Germany, Italy, France, and Spain, and then if you're like in the European countries, like you normally just like travel around in Europe as well.
More questions? Yes.
Like, wouldn't it get hard sometimes to be like in a school like St. Paul and then like survive?
In what aspects?
Like being like within your family, or, like being alone.
Well, like that's also why like
That's all I'm
going to boarding school like isn't necessarily for everyone because like the like also a pretty common thing in boarding school is like kids it's like hard to make it through to that like I'd say that's like the hardest part because like, you can like if you like slip up it's kind of easy to get like kicked out and so you always have to be like straight because they really want like the best people to like graduate so I'd say the hardest part isn't getting through. It's like I know I had like a bunch of them had to go home because they couldn't like handle it or whatever.
You said it's a religious school. What is it based on?
Episcopalian. It's like part of the Catholic religion, but it's not like extremely religious. We just have like half-hour chapel 3 times a week, but the chapel's really just like morning announcements and like stuff like that. Yeah.
Did you ever like have a situation where you were like almost kicked out or like you missed your family and you like wanted to go home or something like that?
I haven't, but like other people have. Also, it's like if you do like stupid stuff, like don't do stupid stuff,
Okay.
or like
got it.
you'll get kicked out.
So you haven't missed your family
Pardon?
at all? You haven't missed your family at all?
Or
You love to go to
like I personally am like an adventurous person. Like that's why I went to like China for a year and didn't come back to the U.S. at all and like, didn't see my family. Like
But you can still like FaceTime or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, I talked to my parents on the phone like a decent amount.
In China, is your American phone taken away?
No.
Because in China,
Your American phone took
Really?
away.
no, because they kind of sometimes they just take out some information.
Oh no. Okay, so the whole censorship thing, actually that's an interesting topic. Basically, they didn't take any of my stuff away. Do you know what a VPN is?
Yeah.
No.
You don't know what a VPN is?
Basically,
Right.
like,
It's not like you
They
know.
make them-
It allows-
Wireless
It allows you to
protection
like
network.
access like block content, like if like your school internet blocks like whatever like games website, you like can use it to like get around the block. So like that's basically like what we used in China to like use Google and things like that because like Google's blocked all that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so in China
Rest in
Google is
peace.
blocked.
It's called like terror.
Well,
So
if
then
your name
you're
goes
trying
back.
to- What if you like gave that thing to someone and then somebody like got that information and they gave it to somebody else and like
Well,
what
like,
happened?
The thing is like people like they know the information exists. They're not like oh my god like I never knew like the government's hiding something.
Yeah.
Like that's just like they like know, and like some Chinese people that like have been abroad, they do have like VPNs, and so like yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Aren't VPNs supposed to be blocked?
In China, yeah, but like if you like go abroad, you can download one, and then you come back and you can use it. But sometimes like for example, there was like this big event in Beijing where like the top like 2,000 politicians like came in for like a big meeting, and they like started like cracking down just because of like the big event thing. So like our VPNs like didn't work for like that like week period.
I just wanted to ask, do you learn about trading in your school? Because like there's a lot of stuff going on between China and America, like the Huawei ban. You know Huawei, the phone. Yeah, it's banned, and then there's a lot of going on between them.
The trade war. Actually,
Yeah.
we did a unit about so our like Chinese classes, they were like towards the end of the year they were like once we like gained like fluency in the language, they were geared towards helping us gain fluency in talking about certain situations. So like we talked about everything from like I can like talk about everything from like the one child policy to
Oh my
like
God,
one of our last units was actually talking about the trade war. And it was
That's
funny because
Wait, is
one of my last nights in China. Okay, so background information. My host dad, he's like big business guy. Like I barely see him because he's always like doing business and stuff like that. But he has like the biggest private hospital in Beijing. So like the trade war is like really affecting his business. So I thought it was really cool because I had like a full like hour and a half conversation with him in Chinese about the trade war. Like on one of the last nights, I was like, wow, this is what I learned in class.
I forgot what I was gonna ask.
Sorry.
When you go to school in China, are all of your classes like do the teachers speak Chinese too, or do they speak?
We had a couple foreigner teachers, or by foreigners I mean Americans. So our math teacher and our English teacher were Americans, so those classes were in English. And then I took like Chinese class, obviously Chinese, and then like also other like electives like modern China was half English, half Chinese, and like history class are like also it's like a thing like our history teacher was also the head of the China program, so like he was like fluent in Chinese as well, so like we often like just like talked in Chinese just because we could.
In China, do they like motivate a perspective on you? Like, see, like Americans think a different way of trade war than Chinese do. Do they try to motivate a Chinese perspective on you?
Yeah, did they try to
They didn't?
Brainwash you.
Brainwash,
Okay,
yeah.
I understand what you're talking. It wasn't a thing that they like go and like try to brainwash me, but when like there's already a perspective that a society shares based off like a long 3,000 year history, and like you like see that perspective and you gain a handle and like start to understand where they're coming from and like how they gain that perspective, and like and that's how it is really, just like a perspective. Like there are a million ways you can like look at a situation from like a million different sides. It's like I'd say that my time there helped me understand that Chinese perspective to it and like that East Asian perspective to it, to like world issues.
What was the most interesting you saw or did in China?
Oh, so one of our travel trips we took during the winter, we took like a trip down to South China, which is like the hot area to like avoid the winter up in Beijing, and we saw so China has 56 ethnic groups, and so we went and visited like the Chinese ethnic minority villages, and like there's some villages that are like not, you can't like take a road to get them, like stop, the road's not developed yet, so you gotta go like walk 2 hours into like some rice fields until you like reach a village, and we like slept in the villages and like talked to the villagers and stuff like that.
Isn't like the air in China like super dirty and super clean?
No.
No, that's a stereotype.
It's not, but
Everybody
like
says that
it's
it is.
primarily in the like big cities like Beijing air.
Isn't that where you were though?
Yeah, so yeah, I came back to US, I was like, whoa, blue skies every day? What is this?
Is China like what people say about China? Like, does China look like people say and
Yeah, like all the trash everywhere.
Yeah.
And like they say that they have to like, what's it called, like hire some certain people to like physically walk around with a broom and clean the street.
That is a thing, but actually, that is
No.
everywhere. That is
We have machines.
that's everywhere.
That's everywhere. But like,
No.
I'd say
Yes.
I also lived in like the nicest part, so like there was none of that really, and I wouldn't say I saw that a lot.
Do some of your friends, did some of like your friends live with a host family that were like as fortunate as your host family was, like in a poor part?
The thing was, like in China, there's like this is probably different. This was definitely different by country, but in China, like a big reason that they wanted like foreign kids to like live in their house was so that their kids could learn English better with like a native speaker, by like talking to the speaker like every day because you live with them now. So like
So that's what they were
I'd say the
doing.
more fortunate families were the ones able to get the opportunities because they had the better housing to like help house us.
Okay.
So
You also take the Shazat to go to St. Paul. The SHS.
Yeah,
no, SHSAT is for
That's for specialized, but not
different.
boarding.
That's SAT, yeah.
In China, did they not like talk about the Muslim camps? Like, no, those like,
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
did they like,
Um,
was it like?
Oh, like those
You
hidden
can't, you don't,
camps.
you can't really talk about that stuff or like political issues like in public, like in like your house with your family. Like you can,
Did you try talking about it?
no,
What's gonna happen if you do that? Like they can arrest you or something?
like it's like a social taboo. Like you just like don't talk about it.
Wait, you don't talk about who?
So it's just like something that you automatically know.
Like, for example, like some like think about like some like really like profane thing in England in like American society. Like talk about you wouldn't like talk about that on the bus. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to give examples, but like you know what I'm talking about.
But they're exposed.
Can you write in Chinese, I came back to study SAT? Or then you like what?
Oh,
Yeah, something
you
like
want 3 syllables or something?
Oh.
Oh.
But like at that age.
Yo,
Wow. How do you even know? That's just
so you memorize like,
You almost took such a long time to take it. Oh yeah.
how do you, it's very
You know part of this, right? You understand part.
I said 10.
What is good of this? It's
Read it.
Your vocabulary changed tremendously. Remember what it was a while ago. Magic One helped you a lot, right? To be organized, I can tell. And so far, you keep in mind, 11th grader, 11, right?
Yeah.
Earn already more than 300,000 words by this, including this China. Keep making the same point. So my point is it helpful for family? Some parents get lower income that you're getting from helping them getting this your scholarship. Make sense?
Yeah.
So this is my point. This introduction, Camerun, very helpful for this group because maybe it makes you motivated. You start pushing this very hard. And during summer, immediately after, like you usually do, let me finish this one. Usually after some activities, like after China, you come in here, right? Instead of fool around, taking classes, preparation, go back, get another 65,000. After that, yes, after another summer he prepared. After the preparation, he is one of the strongest in his school, first of all, right? This is important. And yes, you have a question?
Yeah. What happens if you like have money left over from your scholarship? Like,
what?
what if you decide to like get like a host family in St. Paul's and like the dorm, like you don't have to pay for that dorm? What do you do with the leftover
Oh,
money?
it's 100% boarding school.
Oh,
The host family thing was just like for
in
like
China, okay.
yeah, it's like learning the language
So you
more.
won't have any money like left from your scholarship?
Well, so China thing, the scholarship was like tuition, which was like basically all I needed, and then I had to produce my own spending money. And then St. Paul's scholarship is like tuition, room board, and then like books and like supplies, and then also I get an allowance of spending money, and so like that spending money is just like mine. to
Oh,
keep,
so they give you like everything that you need and then you get like a certain amount of money that you can spend?
like $100 a month, yeah.
From the school?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Have a question?
$100.
Can you change your mind? So you,
Even though you get those like $100, just like, do you work part time?
I'm starting work in the summer
Ask who?
at a juice press place.
A juice press.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad.
this is good.
It's good.
It's not bad.
You know Dell Computers, Michael Dell, millionaire, right? He has 2 kids, 2 boys.
Yeah.
And they work in the same position, start in the same position. They work. In some family, people getting zeros don't work and just resting. In serious business people, they work from beginning. That's very good. So Cameron, first of all, I want to tell that Cameron from here, he also got scholarship from Dr. Farber every time for these achievements. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Welcome, and we always help people who really work, really seriously work, and they accomplish something. Starting from zero, he is absolutely different person. We believe in your bright future. we make correct choice. Cyber security is very nice. Look on professional future. It's very, if you wanna just teach a language, maybe it's not the best idea, right?
Yeah.
No, maybe not the best. But cyber security, with your ability in math, everything, you can do this. And since Cameron will be here taking SAT classes from now, before go to school, you can think about more questions you can ask next time. I want to return to our class, right? Good luck and applaud you.